Hello, hello. I know. It's been a while since I have done this. I started talking about the books in October 19th, 2019, with the idea that I want to talk about 1,000 books, a journey of 1,000 books. And I said, if I did this every day, it would take me about 1,000 days, so basically 3 years, more or less. And I started very enthusiastically talking about the books. And I said to myself, don't depend on the views and the comments and the interaction. Just do it as a routine. Very simple. No video editing, no software, no obligation. Just record, just talk to the mic. No editing, nothing. Just talk to the mic simply. And upload it, put a picture for the book, and that's it. And I did that for 40 books. But I still did not continue. And this happened many, many times with so many things. I started learning many languages. Actually, I started learning Japanese and Italian and French and German and Russian. And I started this 5 or maybe 7 years ago. But I did not talk any of these languages. I did not surpass A1 level, which is basically a beginner. And I wondered why. I started learning English, and obviously I did learn it, thank God. But why did I fail at learning these other languages? They're not different than English. Of course, they are different, but they are languages. They're the same way. I am a teacher, and I study language acquisition. I know exactly what to do to learn a language. I know about the sentence structure and the grammar and the pronunciation, the phonetics. I have tons of materials and tons of gigabytes for all those languages and courses. But why don't I continue? I'm sorry. Or not sorry, anyways. But I decided to come back with a book that is actually about this idea. It's called The Deadline Dilemma. Now, I don't know if I'm going to continue this series, if I'm going to finish 1,000 books or 100 or maybe stop. But actually, I'm planning on releasing a course on YouTube for teaching English, and we'll see where this would take me. But anyways, The Deadline Dilemma. Let's try to talk about this book. Very simply, it says, if you have a task, let's say that you are a student and you have a task tomorrow, you will finish it today, okay? Because there's a deadline. You'll finish it today, and tomorrow you will stay up all night, but you will finish it. If you are an employee and you have a task that you have to deliver tomorrow, you will finish it today as well. What if you have this task next week or next month? You will finish it a day before it's due. Why? Because there's a deadline. This is how most of us work. Some people work all week or all month until they finish and get this task done. But most of us, at least me and some people I know, never work unless there's a deadline. Okay? This is easy when you have a job, when you have a school and have an exam. But what about if your goal is to become successful, is to get married, is to learn a language, is to travel the world? You have a long-term goal which has no deadline. This is the deadline dilemma. When you don't have a deadline, but you want to achieve a goal, you have no obligation. Nothing would force you into doing what you want to do. How do we solve this deadline dilemma? Because if we didn't, I think it will be a shame. And you will look back, like right now, today is the 17th of December, 2021. I started my YouTube channel in 2012. Basically, I have a couple of weeks so that it will have been 10 years exactly since I started making that YouTube channel, and making it for the same reason, talking about English, talking about languages, talking about books and self-help and development. But I did not help myself at all. And I basically have done nothing in the past 10 years. Why? I don't know. Maybe procrastination. Maybe I just procrastinate. I have no obligation. I have no deadline. Nothing can force me to work, and there's no passion. Or maybe I was afraid. Maybe I'm afraid of criticism, and not afraid. Maybe I'm afraid of no interaction and views and so on. Maybe I lost passion very easily. Maybe I have ADHD. I don't know. Maybe I suffer from attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I cannot continue doing something. But there has to be a cure. This is what I've been searching for. There has to be a cure for my procrastination or fear or anything. because many people are doing what I want to do, and I want to do what I want to do. So I found this idea, the deadline dilemma. How do I break the problem of not finishing what I started? And there are tons of books on this, solving the procrastination puzzle and finish what you started and so on. But I believe this concept of solving the procrastination method puzzle or the obligation thing, or the deadline, whatever, it has to be solved. Otherwise, I have done nothing. Otherwise, I will see all my dreams are not being fulfilled. And I started coming back to making these books because I saw that I can do something. I stopped doing these books, honestly, a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years, because I did not feel authentic. I did not feel like I apply everything I read from these books. I told myself, do not talk about something you do not do. If you don't practice what you preach, you will be a hypocrite. So I stopped talking about the books. Maybe I talked about books about happiness, and I was not happy. I was depressed. I talked about books about depression, sort of a way to help myself and help others who suffer from depression, but I was very depressed. So I stopped talking, and I started learning and listening until I found a way out, a method that I can help myself and help others with. And this idea I have found very, very gracious, the deadline dilemma. So what I did, I've been planning on making courses and videos on YouTube for so many years, and I've done them. I actually finished recording a course, recording a couple of videos and tips and tricks and advice and so on. And right now I'm recording this book. So finally, I have found a method, a way, or a couple of ways that I can solve this problem of procrastination with, or the deadline dilemma. Let's talk about this method. There is a story about a leader who took his soldiers on ships and went to fight a war versus another country. And after they landed on that country, he ordered to burn all the ships. And they asked why? How could we come back? He said, we will not come back. We will either die or we will win. This is the cure to procrastination. This is the only way to finally solve the deadline dilemma, is to put yourself in a situation where you have to do what you want to do. I'm going to repeat this. You have to do what you want to do. This is the only way that's going to make you do it. Obligation is motivation. There's no passion. There's no love. There's no when I feel like it. There's no when I get into the mood. There's no, I'm waiting for someone to help me and motivate me. No one is coming. Absolutely. No one is going to help you. Or even this idea of people helping you. Actually, if you want some help, don't wait for help to come. This is how I actually shot this course. I went to people who are professional videographers, who make videos, who design, and who work on social media. And I paid some money for making this course. I want to shoot some videos professionally. I want to make a course. And then I was obliged to write the script, to shoot the videos, to make the course. I had to work because I paid money for it. And this course will be released, inshallah, very soon on YouTube. So I found a way. After all this time, it was very easy. It was very clear. It was looking at me directly in the eye. Force yourself. Otherwise, you will not work. So how do we solve the idea of procrastination or the deadline dilemma? By simply putting deadlines on the goals that we want to achieve. By having ourselves accountable or having other people putting us accountable. Like how? Excuse me. Let's say, for example, I want to go to the gym. I want to commit to exercising. What do? I go to the gym and I pay 3 months or 6 months in advance, which is a lot of money, which is going to make me commit, which is one way. It's one way to make you commit because you paid for it, so you have to go. Or I could ask a friend who is very committed to going to the gym, and I tell him, I will commit going to the gym with you, but you have to call me. You have to call me, and I promise I will be a man and commit. And this is how you put yourself in a situation where you burn your ships. Basically, if you are not committing, you are not a man. You see, you have to put yourself in a situation where there's a deadline. If you don't do it, you'll be dead. You will despise yourself. Let's say I want to learn a language, which is, I'm still trying to figure this out. I will go to a course and pay money for the course, maybe also 3 months in advance, which is a lot of money. But this will push me to go and study and do my homework. There's a deadline. There's a test. If there's a test, I will study for it. If there's no test, I won't. So this is one way. is to have other people making you accountable for the goals that you want to achieve. By having them putting the deadline and them obliging you to work. Basically, putting yourself on the line of fire. You have to work. You have to put yourself out there. Otherwise, you will fail in front of people. You know, I promise people. I oblige myself in front of them. It's not only about myself, which is one of the most important things about achieving things in life, which I discovered. Don't rely on yourself. If you could, you would have succeeded already. Don't think you can do everything on your own. I didn't. I certainly didn't. You see, I always thought I can do everything if I put my mind to it. This idea was planted in my head, maybe from self-help gurus or whatever. But I was wrong. I was dead wrong. I cannot do it. I'm not a videographer. I relied on a video editor to make the videos. I'm not a Photoshop designer. I relied on a designer to design the thumbnails. I'm not a social media marketer. I relied on a social media marketer to to control the Facebook page and YouTube. I relied on people. I paid for these people, but this was the only way, the only method. And I can apply this to many, many things in my life. Rely on other people. People want to help. Some people want to help. People who wish good for you will help you, will oblige you. You know, I really wish that 10 years ago, someone would have told me this advice. If you have a goal, push yourself, oblige yourself, have someone else to oblige you, have an obligation to achieve this goal. Otherwise, you will waste and procrastinate for years. And 10 years later, here I am. But hopefully I compensate, because maybe I started late, but good things have happened. I've read a lot of books. I met a lot of people. I have more knowledge and maturity now. And hopefully all this wait and procrastination was for something better, was for something great. Or maybe not. But at least I now have a method. I have a way of working. But I've learned a lot of things along the way, not just obligation. Let me give you some ideas that I've learned into achieving goals. I think the whole self-help books, the whole self-help category and idea of development and so on is only about one thing, one idea. Do something. Move. Take an action. Achieve. Because if you move, if you try something, you will achieve. Let me tell you a story about a business I started maybe 3 years ago. I started a business about an English course center with some of my friends. And it failed. And we started again. And it also failed. And I was really, really depressed because of this failure. You know, they say what doesn't kill you make you stronger. It doesn't. What doesn't kill you make you weaker. Actually, it leaves as a mark. You know, when you fail, you feel bad. I felt really, really bad. But now, what did I have to do to start this business? It was a business about teaching English, so I had to make a curriculum. I learned curriculum development, and we had to make videos to market this business. So I learned script writing and copywriting, and I learned about social media marketing, and I learned about presentation and presenting a video content material, and I learned about doing seminars and talking in front of people. And then the project failed. But now I look at all the things that I've learned. Well, maybe I can use them into something better. Maybe the failure of this project, and actually, when I look at it right now, I lost this project and I lost the people who started this project with me, and it was a great loss, honestly. I gained a lot from losing this project. And so I have to learn to improve and move on and work. So what are the ideas that I found beneficial in those last 2 years or more? First, I learned that routine is the secret to success. Call it routine, call it habit, call it taking action, call it consistency. It is the same thing. It is the same idea. But one of the most important things about the routine is doing the routine when you don't feel like it. I think I talked before about the motivation myth book. It's very simple. Some people want to feel motivation and then take action and then reach success. No, it doesn't happen. It never happens. Take action first. Then wait for the result. When you see the result, you will have motivation. Motivation is not the start. It's not the engine. It is the result for this circle. Take action first. Take action when you don't feel like it. When you feel depressed, take action. Actually, in the book, The Depression Cure, he says you have to start the momentum. You say, I feel depressed and I want to go out and exercise and work and talk to people and live my life and enjoy and exercise and all that. And I will do this when I am out of depression. And this will never happen, because those are the things that get you out of depression. So I understood this. When you are depressed, you have to work out and you have to get out and talk to people and express your feelings and say to people, I'm sad and depressed. Do not push it into yourself and just hold on to it. No, get out of your comfort zone. You will be comfortable. It's a very, very lovely quote. I like it. If you want to be comfortable, get out of your comfort zone. Really, it is strangling you, and as it was strangling me for many years. So this is the first thing I learned. I actually shot most of the videos for the course when I could not smile. And the guy, the videographer, told me, hey man, are you depressed? I was like, yes, I am depressed, but I'm finishing it. I shot the videos and finished the course, thankfully, and hopefully I can do more. And hopefully I will be slightly happier, or much happier, hopefully. But I finished something. I got something done when I don't feel like it. This is for the first time of my life. I always said, when I get into the mood, when I feel like it, I will start working. No, I will work when I don't feel like it. I will work despite, or because I don't feel like it, I will work. So this is the first thing that I learned. What else did I learn? I learned to rely more on people and trust them. Trust people more, because yes, some of them are snakes. I've met a lot of snakes, but some of them actually want to help. Some of them want to help. And also learned you have to be strong. You have to be a strong character. You have to have a strong character. You have to. Otherwise, the snakes will turn around your neck. Seriously, I trusted a lot of people who should not be trusted. And so this, put me in an area of extremism. I did not trust anyone because I trusted everyone, which is wrong. The perfect balance for me now is to trust the people who are trustworthy. That's it. Trust people more, rely on people more. Another thing I learned, which is something I call the GPS method for success, which is simply using the idea of the GPS for reaching the goal. How do I use the GPS? I first put the destination, where I want to go. Then the location, where I am right now. Then the GPS tells me the road that I should take. For example, I want to learn German again. Where do I want to go with German? I want to be between B2 and C1, like advanced in German. I want to be able to work and have a job with German or communicate fluently. Basically, I want to speak German like how I speak English right now. So this is my destination. What about my location, where I am right now? Right now, I know 3 sentences in German. Ich verstehe nicht, which means I don't understand anything, which is a proper. Ich heißen Sie Deutsch und ich lerne Deutsch. So basically, I know nothing. I am less than C1. I'm A1, absolute beginner in German. Now, where is the road that would take me to speak fluently, to speak German fluently? The road is basically how I learned English, by memorizing sentences, practicing them, learning grammar, pronunciation, and more practice. That's it. Now, the most important thing about the idea of the GPS is that you take a step every day and never stop unless you reach. That's it. It's very simple. So basically, have an hour. This is what I say for myself. Have an hour or half an hour for the day or in the day to study German. And do this every day. 1 hour for 365 days. 365 hours of practicing German. This equals B2 to C1. Basically, this would take me to become advanced in German. Or any goal. Any goal has to apply this method, the GPS method. Where you want to go, your destination. Where are you right now, your location, and how to go, the road to go there. So basically, the most difficult task is to oblige yourself, because what is the deadline for reaching that destination? Why would I learn German at the first place? Why would I study for 1 hour every day and be consistent? And even if I stop, I come back again and again and again. This is the problem that I suffer from, and I know a lot of people suffer from. And I try to find every single way to help me. And the most important idea that would help me and help everyone is to oblige yourself, force yourself, make people force you and make you accountable. Work with no feelings, with no motivation, no passion. Work, just do the work. And when you speak German, it will be amazing. It will be awesome. You know, difficult decisions equal easy life. Easy decisions equal difficult life. I hope that you got something from the idea of this book. By the way, I wrote this book, and this is just a rough draft for this book. And I hope that I finish writing this book one day. It's one of the things that I have a deadline for, is to finish writing this book completely. I named it by the random poet or whatever. But seriously, I've been thinking about this idea for very long, which is reaching my goals, doing something, dying happy, or at least trying to achieve something. Enjoying the process is essential, but it's not the most important thing. You don't have to enjoy the process. It's a privilege. It's a privilege if you can. But if you didn't, at least you tried. And one last thing. The biggest problem, in my opinion, for the deadline dilemma is if your goal is to pray and fix your heart and come closer to Allah, because the deadline is when you are dead. So this is this is the most important thing in life, is to fix your relationship to Allah. And there is no deadline. No one is ever going to force you to fix your relationship with Him. You have to fix it. You have to find a way, even if you don't like, if you don't like praying, if you don't enjoy it, if you feel like it's heavy for you, you have to do it. And then fix your relationship with Him step by step. Because really, the deadline is when you are dead. When you die and you meet Allah, you will see that your actions were worth it. It's worth the praying and the studying and the holding on, staying away from sins. It is the most important thing in life. So even if you do not achieve the materialistic things in life, you did not learn the languages, you did not do the projects and so on, at least get something right. Fix your relationship with Allah. And I promise, when I fixed my relationship to Allah, He fixed everything in my life. And I hope that I'm fixing it right now. And I hope to see you very, very soon. Peace.